The F-35C is one of the most advanced stealth fighters in the world. But there's one thing it absolutely can't do: take off from a STOBAR carrier. Unlike the MiG-29K or Rafale M, which gracefully leap off ski jumps like Olympic athletes, the F-35C is more like a heavyweight wrestler who really needs a catapult. But what if we forced it onto a STOBAR carrier like India's INS Vikrant? Let's break down the physics of why that would be a terrible idea. The F-35C isn't just another F-35. It's the biggest, heaviest, and thickest version of the trio. Its maximum takeoff weight of 70,000 pounds is about 7% higher than the F-35A and 16% higher than the F-35B. With an empty weight of 34,000 pounds, it's 20% heavier than the F-35A and 6% heavier than the F-35B. Because all those reinforcements for carrier landings aren't light. Now check this out. It carries nearly 19,600 pounds of fuel and can pack an 18,000-pound weapons payload. That's a lot of muscle, more fuel and firepower than its lighter siblings. While these features make it a beast for CATOBAR operations, all that extra weight makes it about as good at ski jump takeoffs as a brick with wings. And if you're thinking, at least it's maneuverable, right? Well, kinda. The F-35A, with a 9G limit, is the real dogfighter of the family. The F-35B, limited to 7G, trades agility for its STOVL magic trick. The F-35C, at 7.5G, is stuck in the middle. Not quite a ballerina, but not a total slug either. It's built for smooth carrier landings, not high-speed Top Gun-style dogfights. STOBAR carriers like India's INS Vikrant use a ski jump instead of a catapult. This works beautifully for fighters like the MiG-29K, which has 2 engines and a thrust-to-weight ratio of 1 when lightly loaded. The F-35C, however, has a single Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine producing 44,000 pounds of thrust. Which is great. That's not great for ski jumping. Imagine trying to launch a school bus off a ramp. It's not going to end well. With a catapult, the F-35C normally needs 300 feet of takeoff roll to get airborne. INS Vikrant? It only has 660 feet of ski jump space. That's simply not enough to safely get airborne with a useful payload. Even if you strip the F-35C down like it's going on a weight loss reality show, it would still struggle to reach the speed needed for a safe takeoff. So, can we just make it lighter? Sure, but at a massive cost. To even have a chance at a STOBAR launch, the F-35C's takeoff weight would need to drop to 50 to 55,000 pounds. That means cutting fuel down to 50 to 60% capacity, or about 5,000 to 6,000 kilograms instead of the full 8,890 kilograms. It would also have to ditch most of its weapons, bringing its combat load down to 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. That's 40% less fuel and 60% less firepower. Even if you strip it down to the bare minimum, its takeoff roll is still too long for STOBAR carriers. It's just not meant to fly this way. But what if we gave the F-35C a supercharged engine? The XA-100/XA-101 adaptive cycle engine, which could push 45,000 pounds of thrust. That's 15% more power than the current F-135. More importantly, these engines are more fuel efficient and optimize airflow, meaning better acceleration and range. With this upgrade, the F-35C's thrust-to-weight ratio could jump from 0.86 to about 1.0, making it closer to the MiG-29K in raw power. But would that fix everything? Not really. While it would help reduce takeoff distance, the F-35C would still lack the high-lift aerodynamics needed for STOBAR. Even with a monster engine, it would still be like trying to force a Formula One car onto a dirt road. It's just not built for it. The only viable option would be the F-35B. Unlike the F-35C, it can use its lift fan and vectoring nozzle to take off in much shorter distances. But there's a catch. It carries 46% less fuel and 20% less firepower than the F-35C. It's a trade-off: short takeoff, but shorter range and less punch. The F-35C is an amazing aircraft, but for STOBAR carriers, nope. Without a catapult, it's just not designed to take off properly, and even with a super engine, it wouldn't be combat effective. While INS Vikrant is a powerful carrier, it's just not built for this jet. That's it for today. See you in the next video.